Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds, hanging out with this nerd.
Nerdarchy 10.
And today we bring you another Unearthed Arcana where everyone was kung fu fighting.
Jump down to the description below where you can sign up for Nerdarchy, the newsletter. It's a great way to learn how to game with Nerdarchy, as well as get weekly RPG tips.
Unearthed Arcana is upon us again.
Indeed. And this time, we're still going in alphabetical order. We get the monk.
It's been 3, 2, 3, 4, 2. And we get two new traditions. We get Way of the Kensei and Way of Tranquility.
Now, I'm going to start off by saying that a lot of times when I'm reading it, I've been looking at it as just class things. Mm-hmm. This time, I think there's a couple things in here that I want to give as like monster or NPC abilities. I think there's things that are just really interesting that I'm like, I wonder how that would work if I could design something to just use that.
I want to say that I feel like at least one of these abilities or one of these traditions is way better than any other tradition that's existing.
And I think you're talking about the Kensei.
Yeah, it's really freaking good, and you can abuse the hell out of this one.
Well, I don't think it's abuse. I think it's just that's the way it's designed to fill a couple niches.
I think you're absolutely right there. And, okay, so what are we talking about, guys? Way of the Kensei, basically you are the Weapon Master Monk. Boom. Right off the bat, 3rd level, you get something that no other monk gets, and that is martial weapon proficiencies that you basically can use with your monk abilities.
Correct. Now, it actually, if you read into it, it actually goes a little bit further. You get 3 martial weapon proficiencies of your choice. Now, it does not say that they have to be melee, because in the actual description, it says a sword or a bow, blah, 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 blah. So, this says, all right, ranged monk, here you go. And you don't have to be a laser monk to do it.
And I know tons of people have been crying for the ranged monk. Now you have it.
Now, whenever you wield a martial weapon that you're proficient with is a Kensei weapon. So, like, every step, it's answering the next question. Okay, was a Kensei weapon then a monk weapon? Well, if you're proficient with a Kensei weapon, you can use your strength or dex to choose what you're attacking, what you're using to hit and damage, as well as you can use your monk damage die for that weapon.
You know what's crazy about that? There's 2 places this gets a little crazy. 1, you can now use that great sword with your dex that you've been dying to use. No problems. 2, you can use a longbow with your strength if you want to. That's
never been done before?
In 5th edition. In 5th edition it hasn't been done. So that's definitely a deviation from what we've seen.
And then on top of that, because it just keeps going, and all of this is still at 3rd level, when you take the attack action on your turn and hit the target with a Kensei weapon, you can use your bonus action to pummel the target, dealing an additional D4 damage to that target and any other target you hit with the weapon as part of the attack. So if you blow all your Kai points and you attack 3 people, you then use your bonus action to do this feature. They all take another die 4.
No.
No? Did I read that wrong?
No, it's not that you read it wrong, but you would need to expend your bonus action to get all those attacks.
Okay.
You wouldn't be able to flurry of blows, because I think that's where you're going.
Right.
But as a monk at 5th level, you do get an extra attack.
Okay, so you would have the ability to do a die 4 to 2 people when you get high enough level.
Yes, because it says attack action, so anything you attack. So for all your attacks, you basically get that. Or, if you happen to be like a 17th level fighter and a 3rd level Kensei, or monk with the Kensei tradition, and you're getting a lot of attacks, then you can do it as well. And it's also interesting because it just gives you an extra way to use that bonus action.
Right.
But more importantly, and the thing I kept saying in my mind, I kept saying over and over again, you're not using any Kai points.
Right.
For these abilities.
These abilities are not costing you Kai. And then it says if you make an unarmed strike as part of the attack action on your turn and are holding a Kensei weapon, you can use that weapon to defend yourself. You gain a +2 AC until the start of your next turn while you're not incapacitated and the weapon is in your hand. So
it doesn't even say all of your attacks have to be unarmed. If you kick someone in the nuts and then smack them with your greatsword, you can still increase your armor class.
The fact of the matter is, you're using a Kensei weapon. It does not matter what weapon you're actually attacking with. If you're holding a weapon, you get a +2 to your armor class. If you're attacking unarmed. So, okay, well...
You're a Zen archer. You're holding your bow. But you know what's really cool? 'Cause, like, visually, you're using it to block with,
right.
You know, like Legolas, or like you see in comic books and stuff like that, which you generally can't do, but now you can.
You can.
Thematically, it's really cool.
So your bow is just turned into a shield, and your long sword is turned into a shield, as long as you're actually attacking unarmed. Then we go with one with the blade. At 6th level, your attacks with your Kensei weapons become magical. It's all about overcoming resistances and immunities, as you would expect. Here's the first ability that I'm like, all right, I want to steal this for a monster, and that's Precise Strike. You can focus your attention on a single target to understand one creature you can see within 30 feet of you. The next weapon attack that you make against that creature during the current turn adds double your proficiency bonus to the attack roll, rather than your normal proficiency bonus. Once you use this ability, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. It's a bonus action to do it, and not a whole lot of monsters have things that they would be doing with their bonus action. I just foresee, while you're the DM, you give the person that they feel the weight of the enemy's gaze upon them for just a moment as they draw the attention. And it's a good way to add a little bit of not foreshadowing, because it's a really just, it's going to be followed by an attack roll, but it's a really good way to spice up the combat. And if the enemy is actually, or if the player is being really hard to hit and doing a lot of damage, this little feature's on them. Okay, well, let's give the guy a little bit of a boost and have that little bit of, oh God, what is he going to do to me? Because you feel the weight of the gaze on you. I think it's pretty cool.
There's a couple things that this works really nice with, too. Great Weapon Master and Sharpshooter. Like, you're like, all right, well, I'm going to take it -5 to hit, but you know what? I'm going to spend my bonus action to negate that or lessen the effect of that.
Right.
So I can get that +10 to damage.
Right.
It's pretty sweet.
So 11th level, Sharpen the Blade. You gain the ability to augment your weapons with the strength of your Kai. Here we finally get to use some Kai points. As a bonus action, you can spend up to 3 Kai points to grant a weapon you touch a bonus to attack and damage rolls while you wield it. The bonus equals the number of Kai points you spend. The bonus lasts a minute.
And here's the thing. Your weapon's already a +3 weapon. Well, now it's +6. Essentially. It does not say...
There's no restrictions.
Yes, there's no restrictions. It's just an extra +3 to hit and damage. When is that not going to be helpful?
Exactly. And it lasts a minute. I think that's actually really, really good in comparison to the Kai point expenditure.
I think the biggest problem with the Kensei so far is this guy has got way too many uses for that bonus action. He's like,
Well, you use the bonus action for Sharpen the Blade at the very beginning of combat, and then the second round you go into the other abilities.
Well, yeah, true. Like this one lasts, so it's not really a big deal. But the other ones are from round to round, so you have to switch back and forth. And if you want a flurry of blows, this guy is going to constantly have to figure out how to use his bonus action.
Can I get a weapon of speed that, as opposed to it giving me a use for my bonus action, it gives me another bonus action?
Yeah, I need a bonus action.
17th level, Unerring Accuracy. Your mastery of weapons grants you extraordinary accuracy. On each of your turns, you can reroll one weapon attack roll that you make that misses.
So you always just get a free reroll and an attack that misses.
So essentially, it's advantage once around.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's definitely helpful.
You got to miss. Oh darn!
Reroll it.
But
Well, the difference though is with the wording though, because you can then actually use something that would give you advantage on that reroll if you wanted to.
That's true.
Because basically normally you can't go inspiration, but because it was like a special ability that you get to reroll because you miss, and you go, oh well, I'm going to reroll that too because I have inspiration.
All right, so I make an attack roll. And I use my inspiration to give me advantage. I roll twice. Both die rolls are low, and I miss. If I'm re-rolling that attack, because I had advantage initially, would I re-roll both dice?
That is a good question. On
I would
each
say
of
yes.
your turns, you make a reroll. You can reroll one weapon attack. Yeah, I would say yeah.
It doesn't say reroll one die. It says reroll that attack.
Reroll the
if
weapon
you're
attack.
If you're attacking with advantage, you'd reroll both.
You said that might be another use as well. That brings us to our next tradition, Way of Tranquility. This is the Tai Chi master.
Zen.
This is... What was the turtle's name? Mogwai? From Kung Fu Panda? Oogway, right. So this is the pacifist path for the monk. You're a nice guy. You don't want to hurt people. And from the beginning.
You're a monk, so you absolutely can. But all of their abilities, well, most of their abilities, are designed to just not do combat.
Yeah.
Except for the actual things where you're still trained to do it, and all the regular stuff that you get as a regular monk. Yeah, that's all still damage.
Path of Tranquility basically gives you 8 hours of sanctuary that you can use. You can use this
Once a minute.
Oh yeah, once a minute. Even. I was about to say, long rest or short rest, but it's
No.
yeah. You can use this every encounter if you want and be like, yeah, just come on, guys, really. Can we all get along? At least don't hit me anyway.
So do we see Quasimodo ringing the bell? Sanctuary.
Yeah. So it's kind of it's a nice ribbon ability. We've seen this with the Bard, except for I think it might be a little bit better here.
Yeah, I think it is.
I think it got upgraded.
I think it fits definitely well with the theme, and I talked a while ago about making a character that doesn't want to engage in combat in a game that combat's a third of it.
Yeah. So this guy can meditate in the center of combat, and people might just leave him alone. Let me think on this.
We move on to Healing Hands, and this is the one where my jaw dropped reading it. Long-winded paragraph boils down to, you have the paladins lay on hands, except you're better. You get essentially twice what the paladin does. You get 10 times your level in points that you can expend. You can cure disease, neutralize poison. You can cure multiple diseases and neutralize multiple poisons with a single use. Again, it costs 5 points, just like the paladin, but you're dealing with twice the pool. The cool thing is if you flurry of blows with this, you can be pinging multiple people with it in one turn.
Yes, anytime you use the flurry of blows action, you can replace any of your unarmed strikes with
expenditures of Healing Hands.
And what that would extend to, so normally, say if you don't use flurry of blows, but you're just going to use this ability, you can do it once. You use flurry of blows, you can now do it 4 times because there's no distinction. It'll just cost you a Kai point to the flurry of blows, and then you can be running all over the battlefield and just healing your allies, or you can be like ally heal, boot to the head, ally heal, however you want to break it up. But being able to lay on hands to 4 different people and for a decent amount, that's kind of cool.
Oh, all of you are poisoned. Nope.
Yes, I'm going to fix this. I mean, yeah, this definitely makes a great supplemental healer.
I think it's fantastic. My jaw dropped reading it when it's like, yeah, you're better than a paladin at this. Like,
I'm not entirely sure. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't this mean if you successfully sanctuary against all your enemies, you could just walk around the battlefield doing this and everyone would ignore you?
I think so, but
I'd have to reread some things.
Yeah, I'd have to reread the sanctuary spell. I think it's literally you just can't attack.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're just healing your allies,
so they do get a save against it, but.
Well, that's what I mean. Everyone has to fail the save,
right?
But and the crazy thing is, at 20th level, your pool is 200. That's a high level game, but still, that's a lot of hit points.
And to just be like,
yes, you could really annoy people, like your DM. That makes it awesome.
Man, that dragon just hurts you a lot. You just watch that bar go from red to green.
Yeah. So now that brings us to Emissary of Peace, which is our ribbon ability, which is you're really good at charisma-based skills as long as they're not deception or intimidate.
So what that's saying is you're really good at persuasion.
Is that the only one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 3 charisma skills.
No, performance.
Okay, I wasn't counting that one, but yeah.
Technically, that would fall in.
Yeah, it does.
I'd have to look at the list, but yeah, you're probably right. So, hey, why not? You're really good at playing those panpipes or the harp. Right, putting everyone in the mood for peace. Why not? So you get that. Granted, persuasion's going to come up. The other one's not so much.
And you get either persuasion or performance as a proficiency. to go along with it. So that, wait a second, you get advantage on the thing you're not proficient with. Oh, now you are! Hey!
Yes.
And then we do Douse the Flames of War. And, again, long-winded paragraph that sums up, you can touch someone, and they make a saving throw, and if they fail, and they're not damaged, they can't do a violent action for a minute. They can't make an attack roll, they can't attempt to damage someone, they can't force someone to make a saving throw. Really cool. But then we add the distinction of they also can't witness you or your allies damage or make their allies suffer a saving throw, or to themselves. So it's a great way to start off combat. Be like, all right, he's in charge. Boom, you're not violent for the next minute. Oh, all right, let's go back to talking.
You know what this ability really makes me think about?
What's that?
The second Avengers movie, when Black Widow does the lullaby to the Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally what it is, right? And also, when we were talking off camera, I was like, oh, this is great either for an NPC or for, your party, you encounter a raging barbarian.
Right.
And neither side is engaged yet, but this guy goes first, and he uses his ability on them, blast him out of rage.
So great for that berserker. Be like, oh, you're not raging anymore. Have some exhaustion.
Exactly. No one plays berserkers anyway, so I don't think it matters.
I've seen one or two, but it's a cool ability, and this is actually the second thing that I had thought of would be a really good NPC ability as well. You could modify it, be like, all right, well, if you've got somebody who's an eager beaver and you want them to be able to talk out and encounter, it's a way to get a little bit more of that encounter going. It's like, oh, well, you just can't. You
can not so subtly encourage them to do some role playing instead of combat.
Right.
We've seen that go sour in some of our games.
Well, I mean, we've had both sides of the situation. That people try to talk too much and the people try to fight too much. It happens. So then we we finish it off with their only, really combat ability, Anger of the Gentle Soul. 17th level. If you see a creature reduce another creature to 0 hit points, you can use your reaction to grant yourself a bonus to all damage rolls against the aggressor until the end of your next turn.
I've got a couple things to say about this one. First of all, it's a great way to use your reaction. Second of all, we've seen at 17th level a lot of WTF abilities where you're like, you could have gave me this at first level, really.
Right.
Where this doesn't do that. Like, this is really, hey, you want a plus 17 to damage for the next round?
So, at 17th level, a monk has the ability to do 3-4 attacks around without a problem. And they have abilities that they can make themselves hit and whatever have you. And let's face it, if your party is designed well, your party is going to be able to help you out knowing that you're using this ability. And let's face it, one of your party has just fallen. Hey, you want an extra...
No way, you drag an apprentice with you everywhere. Hey, go talk to those guys. They look like a friendly lot.
What? You knocked him out? Punch. Oh, by the way, heal.
At 17th level, I mean, that's, what is that, an extra 68 points of damage if you hit with all your attacks?
Yes.
And at that point, you're rolling, die 12s or something?
Something like that.
It's gone, yeah.
It's not 3rd edition where the monk only needs the D20, but I think the D20's got too much of a swing to it anyway.
But, in addition to that, your 17th level probably have your dex or strength maxed out, whichever you're using.
Yep.
So that's another 20. So that's like 88 points of damage before you touch any dice, and not counting anything else you might be able to do.
88 damage plus 4 die 12 is nothing to sneeze at. That's okay, all right. I got my point across.
And you're 17th level, so you could have 3 levels of assassin.
But you've already had to see the thing, drop a party member. So unless you've been in hiding and they're not aware of you, I don't think you're...
Of course, that's how you always do it, right?
I don't think your auto crit's gonna work.
Yeah, but sneak attack is a nice thing to add to it anyway.
Oh, wow, okay.
But either way, so this adds an interesting tradition for the monks where it's really not a combat heavy monk, but you do get some cool useful abilities. And if you want to play, if you want to play the gentle soul type monk, this tradition allows you to do it. It gives you the tools you need, and at the same time, you still don't have to suck. I mean, for the healing alone, it's pretty cool. And because that ability scales, even if your higher level abilities aren't as good, you still have this one low level ability that keeps getting better as you level up. This Unearthed Arcana, I don't think I can say anything bad about it. If anything, I would have to play them in my game to see if anything needs to really be reined in. I really feel like the Kensei is really good. Like we discussed off camera, you're human, and you take the martial. It was a weapon master is the actual skill, right?
You talking about the martially trained, the weapon master that gets you proficiencies? Yeah. You
take weapon master. Now you have 3 martial weapons. You get 3rd level. You get 3 more. They're all Kensei weapons. So if you want to be that character that has a plethora of weapons to choose from, you can totally do that as well.
But you were also talking going pole master or polearm master,
yes,
which you can use a quarterstaff with, and then 3rd level you actually get polearm. Now you can do the polearm fighting monk. Take Sentinel the next level. Now you're kind of tromping all over the battlefield, eating people's faces and stopping them from moving.
Pretty much, yeah. So both of these traditions really offer up a lot of fun options that you can do. And like I said, it's the first time I'm pretty much like, what, you want your character to fly in my game at first? I'm like, I don't care, whatever. Bring on the Birdman. I generally don't balk at much, but these seem really good. And I'd let it in my game, but I have to keep an eye on them.
I don't have any problem with either of them. I actually like how it's like, all right, Pathic Tranquility, I'm really nice. Don't get me upset.
Don't F with me. Don't F with my friends.
And the Kensei, I don't think anything is overly powered. Yes, the ranged, I can attack with strength with my longbow seems a little awkward, but I don't see any massive advantage.
It's just funny.
It's definitely amusing. The monk is still limited by the damage die of the weapon or the damage die of their monk, which both things either scale with the
by the time they max out, though, if you go longbow, they're like ballista bolts.
Well, I mean, it's a little like, okay, you're shooting arrows at a D12. All right, that's kind of amusing, but it's a max of +4 damage over the standard D8. Not not game breaking in my opinion. The Warlock can do 4 Eldritch Blasts at that level, at a D10 apiece. And if you take the Rite of Invocation, you're getting the stat modifier with it as well.
Yeah. I don't think anything is particularly game-breaking about, being ranged. And it makes some builds that you couldn't make before.
So it offers that options out there. And I think that this was the way that they were like, oh, you want to do this? It's a way to do the polearm fighter. It's a way to do the greatsword monk. It's a way to do the shurikens, darts, or longbow. It's all in here, and they presented a very nice, well-rounded monk that you can do all of these things with. And now they're like, fine, you're finally off my back. Thank you.
And it is limiting in the sense that a lot of the cool things you can do are also suck up your bonus action. So it's like you're picking and choosing every round what you're going to do.
Well, I mean, as you gain new abilities, it's like, oh, well, which one am I going to do this round? But action economy is one of those things that I think is fun and the tactic of the game. So if you want to get the most out of your character, you have to say, okay, well, what order am I supposed to do things? And I've seen the same kind of stuff happen in board games and other complex RPGs. So
it's part of the game.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So what do you guys think? Have you guys had a chance to check this out yet? I think it's amazing. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. While you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Remember, you can always tweet at us over on Twitter at Nerdarchy.
So until next time, stay nerdy.